Hi guys, and welcome back to a brand new match preview here on the channel. My name is James, and today we're going to go ahead and sit down and talk to you guys about Reading's upcoming fixture against Bristol Rovers. That's right, the Royals are back in action and are once again at the Select Car Leasing Stadium. Following their 2-1 win away at Exeter City, the Royals will return home once again for another 12:30 kickoff. That's right, Reading's last 3 home fixtures on a Saturday have been played at lunchtime, being picked for Sky Sports Plus TV coverage. Now, I'm not sure who in the Sky Sports studios or the offices have decided that Reading versus Huddersfield, Crawley and Bristol Rovers all had to be picked for TV coverage. Not sure who had the idea for that one, but hey, I'm not going to complain I am going to complain because it's no 3 o'clock kickoff, but at the same time, it's a little bit more ad revenue and a little bit more TV revenue for Reading to bring in, so swings and roundabouts, I guess. Now, in terms of the preview of the actual fixture, we'll go ahead and take a look at Bristol Rovers' last 5 results. Now, the last 5 results come as followed. They had a 2-1 loss at home to high-flying Wycombe Wanderers before a 3-2 win at home to Charlton. They then followed that up with a 3-1 win away at Burton Albion before the same scoreline but reverse as they lost away to Huddersfield Town by 3-1. Finally, their last result was a 1-0 win at home to Shrewsbury. Now, overall for this season, it sits them in 15th position with 16 points on the board so far, with 12 matches played, 5 wins, 1 draw and 6 losses. They've scored 15 goals and conceded 19, and like I said, 16 points on the board. Now, when you have a look at the position in 15th, you'd think, it's a little bit of a mid-table start and not too great. But when you have a look at it actually in terms of the league table itself, it's actually a pretty decent start. 16 points on the board actually sits Bristol Rovers only 3 points behind 5th place. That's also 3 points behind Reading, who are only in 7th as well. So the fact that Bristol Rovers are in 15th, but are only 3 points behind Reading in 7th, just goes to show how tight this league has started off. Now, in terms of who scored strength, weaknesses and style of play, we'll go ahead and read that off now. You can see the strengths are stealing the ball from the opposition, counter-attacks and aerial duels. Their weaknesses are as followed as well. You can see avoiding offside, defending counter-attacks, avoiding individual errors, avoiding fouling in dangerous areas, defending against attacks down the wings, defending against through ball attacks, keeping possession of the ball, and defending set pieces are the weaknesses. Some of these here are prime for Reading to do well in this fixture, in particularly through ball attacks and attacks down the wing. Lewis Wing likes to ping a ball out to Adrian Akande or whoever's down the wing for Reading, whether it's Ehibachiman, Akande, Chem Campbell. They like to ping a long ball over the top to one of them players to chase on. Also, individual errors was something that Exeter City struggled with, and it was something that Reading were able to pounce on in their fixture. Exeter played it out from the back. Reading, with their high press, was able to cause individual errors and were able to score early on through Jaden Wareham. As well, avoiding offside, Reading play a little bit of a high line. The likes of Tyler Binden and Amadou Mbenge are not slow, so the fact that they will play that high line will be good for Reading. And look, if Bristol Rovers are caught offside, they're caught offside. Now, in terms of the style of play that Rovers like to play, you can see that attacking down the left, play with width, long balls, rotate their first 11, and they're not an aggressive side. Now, we'll go ahead and take a look at some individuals in this Bristol Rovers side, and one for me in particular that will be a danger man is Promise Almachere. He's somebody last year who was a standout in that Fleetwood Town side, and look, he caused issues against Reading when he played last year. I'm pretty sure he scored in the home fixture as well. I don't know if he scored in the away one. He might have scored late on in the away fixture as well. But he's someone that caused Reading's issues last year. This year, he's joined obviously Bristol Rovers in the summer, and this year has scored 2 goals and is the joint top goal scorer at the club. He's also picked up 3 assists in that time. Another player as well is Clinton Mola, someone that Reading fans will be very familiar with as he was at the Royals last year. Look, Mola is somebody that for me was a little bit inconsistent at the start of his tenure as a Royal, but towards the end I thought he was a decent player and actually filled in really well at left back. I was a little bit gutted to see him go, and he's actually been a consistent performer for Bristol Rovers so far this season. He's actually their 3rd highest rated player on Who Scored. As well, something that I noticed was that 8 goals have been conceded from set pieces so far this year. That's something that Reading will probably look to pounce on, especially considering that fouling in dangerous areas is something that Bristol Rovers struggle with. Reading have got really strong set piece takers, whether it's Lewis Wing, Charlie Savage. Could be a good afternoon for Reading if they're able to get some set pieces in them dangerous areas. And then finally, the last thing I wanted to take a look at is their away form isn't very good. Like we said, Reading's away form isn't great. Bristol Rovers is just as similar. 6 matches played this season with 1 win, 1 draw and losing 4 of them. The two teams are very similar in terms of their position in the away form table, so could be something Reading could look to pounce on, especially considering we're our third at home in the entire league. Now, in terms of the Reading side of this preview, we'll go ahead and take a look at that. Joel Pereira is back for Reading. He obviously played against Exeter in our 2-1 win over the Grecians down in Devonshire. Reading obviously will be delighted that Joel Pereira is back. He's our number one choice goalkeeper, and for me, it's a very, very solid hand. One thing as well I noticed is that Andre Garcia is starting to be targeted by teams. That's right, whether it's strong challenges going in on the 16-year-old or whether it's just attacking him in the second half. It's a little trend that I've started to notice that teams are starting to do, so that could be something to keep an eye on as well in this fixture. One thing that Ruben Celes will be thinking about over the next, over tonight, will be whether or not to start Jaden Wareham or whether to start Sam Smith. Wareham obviously started his first league start for Reading this season just this Tuesday, and managed to score 58 seconds into the game. It wasn't just the goal though for me, it was the performance overall from Wareham that stood out. It was the press, it was being strong in the air, it was holding up the ball, and the build-up play was just fantastic from Jaden Wareham. So it'd be interesting to see if he continues to get the nod, or if Reading's top goal scorer for the year, Sam Smith, will once again return to the starting 11. Last thing as well for me in this fixture was that I like to see Chem Campbell be replaced by Adrian Akande. I think Chem Campbell doesn't really do it for me. I think, look, he's a little bit slow, he's a bit off the press, and for me, just doesn't really do that great when he's on the ball. And for me, Adrian Akande is someone that is a little bit of a lightning. He's a little bit lightning, he's a bit of a spark, shall we say. He's got the creativity, and for me, I'd like to see Adrian Akande start over Chem Campbell. Now, in terms of a score prediction for this fixture, I'm going to go with a 2-0 win for Reading in this one. I actually think Reading will be able to keep a clean sheet for the first time in a little while in this fixture. I think the Reading will attack Bristol Rovers quite a bit in this game. Reading have actually had the least possession in the majority of their fixtures for this season and have hit counter-attacks really, really well. And I think that could continue to be a trend in this game. Reading soak up the pressure really well, and the defensive work of Tyler Bindon and Amadou Mbenge has been outstanding so far this year. And I think as a defensive partnership, they have been brilliant, and I think they need to get their reward soon, and I think a clean sheet in this fixture could be that reward. Now, like I said, in terms of goal scorers, I think for this one we'll see either Smith or Wareham pick up a goal depending on who starts, and I think as well Kelvin Ehebachaman will finally break his duck of not scoring since the second game week of this year. That's going to be it for this video today, guys. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ben James, and hopefully we'll be talking about a Reading win tomorrow. Thank you for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.